And we're back with more Turning Pages. Today we are very honored to be sitting down with Kim Mortisugu. Thank you so much, Kim, for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me, Roxanne.
Can you tell me a little bit about your books? Do they have a similar theme or flavor?
I would say they're all contemporary fiction. They all have an element of humor in them, my books, and they all have female protagonists. So
okay.
I like to think of them as upmarket women's fiction, or
very good.
Or as there's a domestic comedy, there's a suburban comedy of manners. There's always something comic in there, even in my mystery.
Oh, right. And the mystery is everything nice?
No. There was a mystery that was shortlisted for the Arthur Ellis Prize. That was the Glenwood Treasure.
Right.
And there was a little novella, and everything nice, and a rapid read, right? Which it was sort of a mild mystery.
Oh, okay. Oh, very good. And your most recent book is The Oakdale Dinner Club?
Yes, it is.
Can you tell us a bit about it specifically?
It's a multi-character piece. It's about a group of people who get together and form a dinner club, and they live in a small town outside of New York City, within commuting distance. And sort of each character has their own issue that they resolve over the course of the dinner club meetings. And it's sort of a sex and food book.
Oh, okay.
With lots of comedy.
Now, I had heard one of my book club members mentioned that this was her favorite read from 2014, and she was telling me that there was maybe a bit of supernatural in it.
There is. There's a slight element of telepathy, and I put that in because I always really liked the book The Chrysalids by John Wyndham.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, I like when I talk about the book, I say I had three influences. I had Maeve Binchy, who does these kind of large cast of characters who all come together with a common interest. Then I had Nora Ephron, whose one novel, Heartburn, was about food and infidelity. And then the third influence was John Wyndham and The Chrysalids, which is all about telepathy. And I put all those elements together in making this book, so it's a total hodgepodge. But I have to say that some people, including my editor, were sort of asking, about that telepathy, but I wanted to put it in. So.
Yeah, that's right. Well, she loved it. She wished there'd been more.
Oh, good. First person I've heard to say that, but good.
That's right. So did you always want to be an author?
I wouldn't say that I always wanted to be an author. I graduated from university and I didn't know, I had a useless arts degree. I didn't know what to do. I got a job in an office and I sort of thought, maybe, is this what I'm supposed to do? Become a vice president? So I went to school and got an MBA, which took me 7 years to get. And by the end of the time I'd gotten it, I realized that business was not for me, in fact.
Right.
But I had become a middle manager at that point. I'd been working for 15 years. And then when my job was relocated to Sault Ste. Marie, nothing against Sault Ste. Marie.
You just didn't want to go.
Yeah, I don't know why,
Yeah.
You know what they say about Sault Ste. Marie? No, well. So I decided, okay, now I'm going to do something different. And that's when I decided to try becoming a fiction writer. So that was sort of the impetus to try make a career change midway through.
Oh, good for you. And was it difficult finding a publisher?
It was, but I didn't really realize how difficult it was, in those days it was really difficult to get an agent. It was even more difficult to get an agent in Canada than it was to get a publisher. So I just submitted to all these publishers, and I think it was the 20th one said yes.
Oh, good.
So my first novel was published, and it was published only 6 months after I submitted it. So
wow,
it was a different publishing landscape then.
And are you working on anything now?
I am. I'm sort of got a couple of ideas brewing, and it's my novella, the Orca books, Rapid Reads, was very successful. And even though it's this very small, defined market for people who are, learning English or just looking for something really short to read, and so I'm thinking I wouldn't mind doing another one of those. Just
good.
And they're, it's shorter, so it's easier maybe a little bit to write. And then I've got an idea for a full-length novel that my next one too.
And do you write every day or certain times of the day?
When I was starting out, I wrote sort of at certain times, and I tried to do 4 hours on a good day, and sometimes when the spirit moves me, I can do that. But it's much more. I find the more I write, the harder it is to write. I mean, you don't want to repeat yourself.
Right.
You've done that before, so it comes a lot slower. I mean, there was a time when I was writing my first book, I wrote 100 pages in 10 days.
Oh,
You know,
right.
I would never be able to match that speed now. It's when you're starting out and you've got nothing, you've published nothing, and so you've got everything, all your
Right.
material
Yes, that's true.
is fresh. It's much easier.
Okay. Oh, very good. And I know you're with Dundurn.
Yes.
Your most recent book was. Has that been a good experience? You've
Yeah, well,
enjoyed?
I've published, I think, 3 books with them. You know, it's not like being with Random House,
Right.
but it's been a you know, they've been good to me, and so you know, it's been a productive association.
Oh, good. Well, thank you so much, Kim, for joining us today.
That was so short.
It was.
Make sure you get her laughing like that.
And we'll be back with more Turning Pages.